seconds. We are sorry, but we are experiencing a problem with our system. Please try your call again later or report a problem through the Blog Talk Radio webpage.
To start your show now, press 1.
All right, you're on.
Praise the Lord, everybody. I want to welcome you to another edition of the Miracle Man Show, coming to you live on YouTube. The Blog Talk Radio is currently tonight having technical difficulties, as it's called. Don't know what is going on. I just know that there's technical difficulties. Sometimes you just gotta love technology. Sometimes it just doesn't do everything that you want it to do. Sometimes it just doesn't want to. And even sometimes radar can fail. I mean, hey, I was at a football game the other night. I get there, and they say the thunder wasn't heard or whatever. So, about a half hour later, or thereabouts, we get the teams on the field, bands back, get the game started. 20 minutes later, an official's timeout is called. And guess what? The game is taken into a lightning delay again, because lightning was seen. Something tells me that they looked at the radar and probably saw that it looked clear. And then somewhere out of nowhere, lightning came. Do you think they actually looked at the radar beforehand and thought that it looked clear? Or do you think they were just deciding to slam some of it in anyway, knowing that it might come back? Do you think they thought it was clear?
Yeah, they probably did.
And you bet they even looked at it.
Yep.
And it probably looked clear.
Yeah, and then it ended up not being clear.
Because apparently some lightning thingy decided to pop in it. Out of nowhere. Or maybe whoever created that radar, okay, no, not the creator of the radar, I mean, there was something in the radar. They showed that it was clear when in fact that it wasn't, because lightning came. Some way, somehow. Needless to say, sometimes that technology just doesn't work the way you want it to. As far as, electronic stuff. Can be down for whatever reason, can be down for repairs, can be, even your AI thing could be, and I'm not one that's totally against, like, all AI, like some people might be. I mean, there's good and bad uses for it. And also, I would say, be mindful and wisely as you use it, if you use it. There's good that can come out of it, I'm sure. As like a lot of other technological advancements that have been made over the years. But, I've heard of calls for development of AI to be totally paused. But I don't know about all that necessarily. But again, like they say, there's good and bad from it. And I'm sure it can depend on which AI you use. But, in the Bible, there was a city called AI, but that was different. That was not referring to artificial intelligence by any means. That was a city that Joshua and the Israelites went through and destroyed it. That's what that AI was. I'm sure that there's cases in which AI can help us. But I can also see where there could be some harm in it. That's why use of AI should be done carefully. Even by governments and what have you. And even our iPhones now, they will start to have AI in them. to where maybe your iPhone could hear you talking about something, and then it just start looking it up. I wish AI would do that with Southern accents. And show me what the people are that have the Southern accents. Because I tell you, when I'm down south, man, I want to hear the Southern accents. I don't want to go to like somewhere and like not hear basically any. By that I mean like to some city, like hear like no Southern accents at all. I'd be like, wait, what is this? Nobody here has Southern accent? Like what kind of travesty? But the accent thing, that's just an example that I'm thinking of, like, that I would want AI to do. I did once have it tell me about a kid misbehaving at a Midland Mall, but it was a different Midland Mall, not the one here. One that was in Rhode Island. It was also called the Rhode Island Mall. It was from back in the 60s. But I forget why, but for some reason, at one point it was called the Midland Mall. Nothing to do with Midland MI or Midland TX. Not Midland TX or Midland Texas or TX. That Midland has a Midland Park Mall. Mind you, that one came before the Midland, Michigan Mall, which didn't open until 91. The one in Texas opened in like I want to say the 70s. Yeah, the 70s. A lot of malls open in the late 60s and early 70s. A lot of your indoor ones did. Your newer ones opened in like the 90s or the early zeros. Especially some of your bigger ones. I mean, there's smaller new ones here and there, but these days a lot of them are built outside. And in the mid to late 2000s, a lot of your indoor malls built outdoor sections too, called like power centers or whatever. Especially a lot of your ones that had opened in like the 70s or early 80s. We have some malls in Michigan like that. And in some of these cases, it was like where an old anchor had left. Like a Montgomery Ward or something. I never went in a Montgomery Ward, but they were a fixture until 2001 when that company went belly up. They had the location in Michigan that I know of in Flint. But that went out along with the rest of them. 2001, and they used some of that space to create a power center type thing that has like a Barnes and Noble, a Logan's, which is now closed, and some other places. but think about that. For those of you who might wonder, what happened to Tuesday and Wednesday night, I was out of town, down in the Detroit area, for like a overnight deal. Had a good time, went to a hotel down in a suburb called Troy. Trying to think, isn't the real Troy from Greece or something else?
I think it's from Greece.
Is it from like the movie Grease? Or is it something to do with some Trojan, or what is it?
I think it's the Trojans. They're from Troy, I believe. So that's probably where it came from.
But now the Troy here, the Troy, like there's